friends, welcome back to my channel. It is time for us to do both another trash talk with a little bit of a declutter. Since you guys have probably seen by now, I've managed to finally finish up my How About Them Apples cheek palette. So after I did that, I decided to go back through my blush collection because frankly, I didn't know how to pick a blush. Like, I've been so accustomed to just working on this one set blush for a period of time and then moving on to the next one that this whole idea of blush freedom has been a little weird. So I was going through my collection of blushes to try to figure out like what ones did I want to try, using on my face on a regular basis and, trying out again. And there are other ones that I kind of came across that I was just like, I think it's time for me to part ways. So we'll go ahead and start by showing you the ones that I am getting rid of. The first is the Benefit Majorette blush. This is a like a peachy type of blush. I've barely used this. I got it on like a super discount, but I don't know what I was thinking. This blush like really isn't great for my skin tone, and it's a kind of a creamy product, so I'm just not feeling it. Needs to get rid of it. I also have this Studio Makeup blush in the shade Wildflower. This one, I really do like the color of it, and this is like a typical blush color for me, but there really just isn't a ton of pigment when I go to put it on my face, and I'm not in the mood to be putting on blushes that don't have much of an impact on my skin. I'm very pale right now. We are in like the high points of winter when I don't see the sun on a very frequent basis, so this for me just isn't super worth it. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it. I'm also getting rid of these two tiny blush samples. While they are adorable, I just don't feel the necessity in working on two tiny little blushes when I have so many in my collection that are full size that wouldn't be such a pain in the butt to use. And while I do like both of these shades, I just really don't appreciate how tiny these are. I would rather them have a really like wide pan that isn't very deep and quite shallow, but you can get more surface area out of than a deeper pan that is so small. So these are finally leaving the collection. My last blush is the Elote Face Paint Lip and Cheek Tint. This I tried to use and I put it on my hand first and then I applied with a stippling brush onto my face, and it actually moved my foundation around and sheared my foundation out so that I had these awkward like blushed areas with no foundation underneath them, so you were seeing my actual skin. Like, it just looked very weird. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pitch this. I do not need more lip products in my life, so I'm not going to try to use it in that way. Two other random declutter things that I'm getting rid of is the Birchbox brush. I'm pretty sure I've decluttered every single one of these brushes slowly over time from this like little freebie that I got from them. They just don't make good brushes. But the crease brush I thought was working for me, but then I pulled it back out, and ever since using other crease brushes to blend out with, this is inferior. So I'm going to get rid of it. And then I have my NYX Color mascara. This is in brown. This is one, quite old, and two, it's really just dried out. I mean, I've used a lot of it, but I don't love the way it looks on my lashes now. I think the formula has just maybe turned on me, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it. All right, now let's just talk about the only two makeup empties that I have in here. They are both from Urban Decay. I have the Minor Sin and I have the original Potion Primers. The Minor Sin I actually didn't hate. It was a nice touch. The way it works is it's really soft, like it's just a barely there kind of champagne color, which I actually like because when I was putting over on here the white, you could still see some of that shimmer coming through, so it was a kind of a nice touch. Would I want a full size? Probably not. I don't think I would use it enough compared to just having the plain old original. I'm just glad that I'm finally using these up because they are, as noted by the yellow on here, items I wanted to finish up in 2018, and I've already made a really good dent on these. I think I only have one more, which I may not be able to use because it's like shade 8, which is probably going to be much deeper than my skin tone, so at least happy to have worked through two more samples. All right, let us talk about Impress nails. First ones that I have are what's actually on my fingers right now. It's like a holographic-y purple accent nail with just regular purple ones. These I really like. I think they've held up really well and they're really pretty. They're not too in your face, but just a nice kind of spring or winter type of purple that I enjoy. I also have gone through basically like the same version of purple, but more of a periwinkle color with a glitter accent nail. These also held up really nicely, and I like that they're kind of bright, but they're not too bright that they don't really work as a winter color, so happy to have used these. And the last ones that I have are basically like a neutral type of nail, but they aren't as neutral as just putting French manicure ones on. They're just this soft kind of dusty rose color. These ones didn't hold up as well. I have found with the matte colors that sometimes, it's gonna be hard to describe. Sometimes like if I catch my nail on something, because there's give on these, they might like pull up or down. If I ever had that happen with these, you could see that they had kind of lost their shape a little bit. Like even though they would go back down to where they were originally laying, there would be like a crease or an impression that would show almost like a cracking of the color. I don't know. I don't know if you understand what that means. It's kind of random and a bit vague. If it ever happens again with a nail like this, I'll take a picture of it. That way I can be a bit more clear with you guys what I'm talking about. But what I'm really saying is they're just not as durable as some of the actual non-matte nails were. So I'll get them again, but they're not my favorite go-to. I have some perfume items. I went through, actually really quickly, the Clinique Happy little travel size that I picked up. This was like a little trio that I got on Black Friday from Macy's. I went through a phase where I absolutely loved this scent, and then I fell out of it, and then I saw this little kit on Black Friday, and I was really happy to pick it up again. My only qualm with this is that it's not very long lasting on my skin, so it's definitely something that I should carry around with me, but just like lip products, I'm really not someone who reapplies lip products or perfume throughout the day, so I just kind of used it in the morning and called it a day, but I did enjoy having another bottle of this back in my life. Once I finished that, I wanted to start working on my like freakishly large perfume sample collection that I seem to have. And so I went through 2 of these, and I didn't like the scent on either one of them. I'm pretty sure they may have been men's colognes or just what I call old lady perfumes. But I have the Valentino Donna, did not like, and the Hermes Terra de Hermes, I don't know. Either way, didn't use them up. I'm not someone who's going to force myself to use perfume samples that I don't like because they're samples, they're a dime a dozen, and I don't need to be forcing myself to use them. I have a couple of hair care items that I have worked through. This is the True Smooth Cool Way spray. I don't really know what this is, but as you guys know, I use it as a heat protectant spray because I am trying to use all of these products as heat protectant sprays to get me through the year. So far, I'm making pretty good progress. I'm getting close to being down to like the last few types of these products, but I didn't like this stuff. The sprayer wasn't really that effective with it, and I've not found Cool Way products to be that amazing. And then I have the Alterna Caviar CC Cream 10-in-1. Again, use this as a heat protectant spray. This is pretty heavy in your hair. I know that you're not supposed to apply like a super ton of it, but I just wasn't a fan of it. All right, now we're gonna move on to general like shower, body, skincare items. It's my Pure Silk Rich and Luxurious Shave Cream. Is sensitive skin therapy, moisturizing, soothing botanicals with aloe. Get that stuff at the Dollar Tree. Pretty fair price for $1, and it says rust-proof can, and they don't joke about that. There's literally no rust, no marks, no residue in my shower, and this sat in my shower for months. I'm really like spotty about shaving my legs and stuff in the winter because I wear tights and pants every day in every capacity in every way, so there's not like a big need. Nothing necessarily special. It was a good use of my $1, and I would probably buy more of this again. I have a bath bomb. For those of you who watch my Unicornia unboxing, you saw the little bath bomb in there. This, while I did not think originally that there was a lot of glitter, this had glitter in it. You could see it once it actually fizzed out in my bath, but fortunately no glitter was left on my bath when it drained, and no glitter was left on my body, which to me is an excellent use of glitter. So I like this a lot. The scent of this was really nice, and the bath bomb literally took so long to fizz out. Normally, I find that bath bombs will be gone in like a second, and like the effects of it kind of wear away really quickly. Because this thing was like so big and it took so long to peter out, that I was in the bath for probably like 30 minutes, and I'd say for 20 minutes I was seeing this thing slowly piece apart, which to me was really cool and well done. So I would definitely recommend bath bombs from Fortune Cookie Soap if you're someone who takes baths on a frequent basis. I've also used up the last of my Sephora Express eye makeup remover wipes. So sad, but so happy to have gotten use out of these. I swear they don't carry the actual full size, like not individually wrapped wipes, because every time I go on Sephora's website, which is more frequent than I'd like to admit, they're never in stock. So I don't think they make them anymore, but they still have this type. So if you're traveling, I'd recommend these because they really are effective for being such a small wipe. I've managed to use up my Shiseido facial cottons. You guys know I have found a dupe. I'll link the video to this down in the description box and up in the cards. I am trying to work through the rest of these, but after I'm done with these, I will not buy them anymore. I will only buy the dupe version that I found. So you'll see these, I think I have like one more of these, so you'll see another one of these, but just know that I haven't bought any in probably a year. I have a lip scrub. This is a sample that I got in a Fortune Cookie soap box a while ago. It smelled exactly like lime jello, which I really liked. This, I have to say, I really want to be someone who uses lip scrubs on the regular, but I don't necessarily find that they are that effective where I find myself being like, yes, I need to do another lip scrub. I need to scrub my lips. It's having such a difference on me. And I do get somewhat chapped lips despite being a fiend at applying lip balm all of the time. But I like this. I'm just not fully converted to the idea of lip scrubs. If you do lip scrubs, let me know in the comments below what is the big benefit that you have seen of them and if I'm doing something wrong for why I haven't seen much of a benefit, because it's just like a kind of ongoing struggle for me. I do it because everyone else does it, but I haven't really been converted to it. I've got the Arbonne RE9 Advanced Intensive Renewal Serum. Same comments as last time. This is a really small little bottle, and even though I'm happy I used it, I don't feel necessarily that I would want to buy a full size. I wasn't that compelled by it, and again, I feel like I would need to use it for like a good 35 days to know truly if it was actually having an impact on my skin. I managed to use up the charcoal pour pudding that you guys saw me using in my Finish 14 by Valentine's Day. This, I just wouldn't buy it again. I didn't feel like it had a ton of effect on my skin. I don't know, my skin also hasn't really been having a whole lot of breakouts in a while, and typically charcoal really works well for breakouts, so I feel like I didn't necessarily need to be using this. It did help with my blackheads on my nose, but it didn't fully clean them out, and I feel like I don't want a product that only kind of sort of cleans my pores. I want something that I can actually do it, so I wouldn't recommend this. I have the Sephora Lotus Sleeping Mask that I finally finished up. These things take me so long to use because this is not a single use. They advertise it and market it as such, but they literally tell you to apply a thin layer of this. So unless you have like the face of a giant, I don't see how this can be a single use for you. So I definitely use it more than once. It is pleasant. I'm just not someone who needs a ton of moisturizing, so I wouldn't buy this particular one again. And I've managed to finally get back into doing hand masks and feet masks. I use the Kiss hand and nail mask gloves. These I picked up with an Impress order. They were new on the website and I was intrigued. I thought this was really cool in the one sense that it says touchscreen compatible, which I was like, ooh, let me sit here and play on my Disney emoji Candy Crush and play my games, which I normally can't do. Normally the Sephora hand masks, you actually can't touch your screen. So I don't know how they managed to formulate that, but that's a really cool feature. With that said though, I didn't find these to be as soothing as the Sephora ones. I applied these and wore them for 20 minutes, and that's the max amount of time they recommend you wearing them for. And I literally like rubbed and rubbed and rubbed and made my hands soak up all the serum that was left on them. And like literally 20 minutes after my hands are fully dry, they felt like I needed to put hand lotion on, which doesn't normally happen. And I was kind of like, no, like my hands felt so good for 40 minutes, but then like they just die off again. At least with the Sephora ones, they feel pretty moisturized and like brought back to life for 24 hours before I need to start reapplying hand cream. So long story short, cool feature, but not super helpful with moisturizing, which is the whole reason why you wear these. Thus, the feature is moot, so I wouldn't recommend it. However, the almond foot mask is great and would highly recommend using it if you have dry, crusted feet like I do. Last things we have are some wax items, and I'm not gonna lie, we have a lot of misses here. I have been going through a hot chocolate phase. I have been trying to find basically a dupe so I'm not dependent on the Bath & Body Works Hot Cocoa and Cream candle. So far, it's not going well. I melted the Up North Creations hot chocolate. This smelled like it had alcohol in it. Like it didn't, I had to dump it out because it just didn't, it smells really nice here in the container, but literally it smelled like there was vodka or some kind of like not hot chocolate, like nature melded into this, and I just couldn't do it. So I dumped that one out, which was a bummer because it was a really nice, like perfect size wax, but wouldn't recommend this one if you're looking for a hot chocolate scent. Then I did the Candles by Victoria Get Me Some More, which technically isn't hot chocolate, so I was only setting myself up for disappointment. This on cold has a hot chocolate note to it, but really when you melt it, that graham cracker part of a s'more becomes really apparent and it's less chocolatey than I'm looking for. So I wouldn't buy this if you're looking for a hot chocolate based scent the way I was. Then I went to pull out my Polar Express Super Tarts, which is hot chocolate topped with warm toasted marshmallows, raw cocoa dusted raspberries, and butter cookies. Now, I do not know how old this is. The only Super Tarts I've ever purchased are through D-Stashes, and I need you guys to help me here. Did these like go bad? Is this type of residue normal for Super Tarts? I don't know. But either way, this really didn't have much of any kind of scent. And I put originally 2 cubes in, didn't get much scent. And then I put 4 cubes in and didn't get much scent. So I don't know if these just have gone bad and are no longer good or if they're just a dud in general. But either way, did not meet my hot chocolate needs. Then I Googled what the scent satchel was for. If you saw my all wax haul that I got as like an extra gift. This I really like the scent of. It was like a vanilla peppermint type scent. Just had a really good combination. I hung this up like you would a car air freshener. And I have to say, I'm disappointed because it smelled like overly strong at first for like the first 3 days, and then it died. Like you can't really smell it anymore. I don't know if I've just gone scent blind to it or if it just faded super fast, but not something that I'd be inspired to want to buy if I ever did purchase from Super Tarts. All right, so now that I've gotten like over my hot chocolate phase, I have moved into a peppermint phase. So I've been trying to melt a lot of peppermint scents. And the first one that I tried was from Nancy's Wax Creation. I had bought a little teddy bear that was in candy cane scent. And I have to say, it didn't really produce much scent. I don't really know, maybe I just didn't wait long enough for it, but I like beheaded my little teddy bear and put his head in, and then I like cut his body in half and put those pieces in, and I just never really felt like I was getting a really strong scent throw, so I probably wouldn't pick up her candy cane scent again, even though it smelled heavenly on cold. All right, now we're gonna end with some high notes here. First is from Dessa's Homespun Scents. Girlfriend never lets me down. I got a sample of oatmeal cookies in my most recent purchase from her, and this was awesome. On cold, the cinnamon reads a little heavy-handed, not like in a red hot cinnamon way, but a baking cinnamon way. But once I actually melted it, it was a lovely blend. Definitely want to add this to my list of ones to make a larger purchase for because it was really, really nice and very unexpected. Did like this. And then lastly, I have Candles by Victoria Marshmallow Fluff. This was so good. This was your like perfect marshmallow vanilla basic scent, and I liked it very much in our bedroom. Lasted for a pretty long time, so very pleased with that. All right guys, that is it for this trash talk. Let me know if you tried any of these things down in the comments below, and I will talk to you in my next video really soon. Bye.